Welcome to Pass Down Your Crown podcast, and I'm your host, Patty J. I'm thrilled to introduce a very special guest, not only my cousin, but she is a CEO of Freckles Juice Bar. As a proud Black entrepreneur, Felicia embodies strength, resilience, and unwavering faith. She has dedicated her life to promoting health and wellness, particularly within the Black community, and her passion for making a difference is truly inspiring. With 2 thriving locations, one in the Bronx and one in White Plains, Felicia is making a significant impact in the lives of her customers. Her incredible work has also been recognized in esteemed publications such as News 12 Bronx, Examiner News, Canvas Rebel Magazine, Essence Magazine, and Voyage LA Magazine. Felicia's journey is a testament to the power of her presence and the importance of uplifting one another. Join me as we dive into her incredible story, celebrating her achievements and the impact she continues to make. Felicia, welcome to Pass Down Your Crown.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
I did my homework.
What an intro. I'm like, that made me so emotional, though. Oh, my gosh.
No, because we're going to talk about it because you've done incredible work. We're going to talk about it.
Thank you.
So I like to start off my podcast with Thorns and Roses. Basically, when we speak about the positives that happened in our week and then speak about the negative that happened in our week, just to kick off and let the people get to know what happened in our week. So what's a thorn and what's a rose?
Well, a rose. I'm going to start with the roses because I actually got flowers this week.
Oh.
From my boyfriend, and that was just so random, and I thought that was so thoughtful. And then from my mentors, which was the same day. Mm-hmm. So I was like so thrown back because I just wasn't expecting it. Wow. And my mentors came, and they gave me my flowers for being such a hard working woman. And I was like, really? Okay. That was sweet. And my boyfriend actually said the same thing. He gave it to me in the morning and he was just like, how I'm so great. And I'm like, okay, great.
No, that's
He's like, I'm so great. I'm like, really? Which, you know what? It means a lot because I went years without receiving these type of affirmations. So I gladly take them in.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Sometimes you need to hear it.
You need to hear it and you need to believe it. And just getting it twice in one day, I'm like, well, God, I gotta believe it now.
Sometimes he
and then
does
he just gave me this intro. I'm like, wait, okay.
Yeah, we're gonna let you know.
A thorn that happened this week. I have food poison. So I've been like, I was throwing up. It was crazy. So this is why I don't like to eat outside. The one time that I'm like, okay, I want a sandwich. And I went and got a sandwich. And yeah, I had food poisoning.
And I have a sandwich waiting at home. You got me nervous now.
Listen, don't do it.
I'm not going to eat it.
Don't do it. Yeah.
Well, for me, one of my thorns is, 2 thorns. My kids was misbehaving, getting on my nerves.
Oh,
but
Lord.
The rose that happened right after that is my mom got them. She came and got them kids.
You
and
see?
I was like, look
Shout
at
out
that.
to your mom.
Look at that. Yeah.
See?
Saved me because I was about to break their behinds. Not literally. No, it says no. Yeah. But. Oh. All right, so that was some thorns and roses. So let's get into the questions.
Okay.
When was your juice bar established and what inspired the name Freckles Juice?
My juice bar was established. I'm gonna say 2014, really, even though I didn't have a store location. I started at home. So yeah, I started juicing in 2014. And I came up with the name, and this is the truth. Yes, I do have freckles, but it wasn't that obvious. Like, it wasn't like, okay, I have freckles, freckles juice. It makes sense. Literally, it was not. Cute, funny story. I came up with a name. It was Natural Fuse Bar originally. That was, I LLC'd it and everything like that. I loved the name Natural Fuse Bar. I had a dope logo that I loved because my idea was bringing like all natural things into like one fuse. Like the way I envisioned it, I wanted like skincare, hair care, juice smoothies, of course, but natural soaps, things like that. So that's like
the name
really
makes sense,
the vision.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, a fuse of natural things. So Natural Fuse Bar. One day, so I was still praying about it because I kind of rushed to like get the name, and I was still praying about it. I'm like, God, what do you want me to name my business? And things like that. I never forget. I wasn't on Instagram at the time, but I did have like a fake page where, I just was like looking at being a little
Every girl got
stalker.
a fake
You know what I
page,
mean? So I didn't have like a personal page where I posted, but I just had like a, plain page where I didn't follow anyone. And it was Freckles Juice. And that name I always just used because it was a book that I read in 3rd grade. And people used to tease me because I had freckles.
Really?
And even, especially after we read that book.
And now people are tattooing freckles on their face.
Can you believe it? Boy, times have changed. Just wait. But yeah, I used to really get bullied and teased because I had freckles, to the point where I wanted to remove my freckles.
Wow.
I used to call 1-800 Doctors Is More. It was a commercial that used to come on in the 90s. And back then you used to have to pay for 1-800 numbers. My mom tore me up. Because I'm like, I want to get rid of my freckles. No more dark spots. That was the whole commercial. It was everywhere. It was on the trains. It was everywhere. No more dark spots. So I called that number. So anyway, one day I was like taking a nap. I never forget. I was taking a nap. And when I woke up, I rolled over and I signed into my Instagram, Freckles Juice. And I was like,
yeah,
Freckles Juice. That's the name. Literally, that's the name. And I called my lawyer. I'm like, hey, I want to change my LLC to Freckles Juice. And he was like, it's too late. It went through. Like, you would have to just, pay again and do it again. And I did.
Okay, well, it was worth it because I like the name. I think it's very catchy, and it's you.
It is, literally.
It's a perfect fit.
Kids love it. And when it released, even just the fact that I'm able to, and it's trademarked and everything, and I think about it like, wow, this is something that I literally hated about myself. And now people love it.
Exactly.
And I walk on the street, people are like, oh my God, I love your freckles. And I'm like, wow, look at that.
And I love freckles too. My dad so I love freckles too. So that's true. And that's good. Yeah. And see how God sometimes you got to pray on it.
I know some people got to grow into your looks, man. You can't just be ready to change yourself, because I was ready.
So what motivated you to start selling juices and smoothies? What was a specific moment that influenced your decision?
The main moment that influenced my decision was I was working at the VA hospital. This was like right out of college, I think like 2012. 2013, I got a job at the VA hospital in the Bronx. I went to school for social work. So I was so excited about this job, whatever. It wasn't what I thought it was. Most of the days we were just eating junk. So they had a Nathan's in the VA hospital.
Oh, wow. And
then on Fridays we would take the individuals to like the mall or wherever, Fridays. So I was just like, at that point in my life for like a year, I just ate a lot of junk. It was ridiculous. I went to the doctor, and then I found out that I had high cholesterol. So I was shocked out of my mind, and I started juicing. I had a blender that I got for a housewarming like almost a year before this happened. I was like, oh, time for me to use it. Dust it off or whatever. And I started making smoothies every morning. My coworkers were like, oh, please, you ain't gonna be consistent. And I was. In that time is when I was really trying, like, I realized I didn't like the job. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna stay here long. So what happened is I started fasting. I started making smoothies in the morning, bringing it to work. Instead of having lunch, I would excuse myself. They had prayer rooms in the VA. So I would go upstairs, have my smoothie, and just like journal and pray. And one day I was driving to work, and literally clear as day, I just saw a location on my way to work. And I was like, oh my God, that would be dope for a juice bar. And it still didn't really click to me. But as I drove like maybe a mile more, I was like, wait, that's something to do. I'm gonna open a juice bar. I'm gonna open a juice bar there. Oh, wow. And it just came to me. And then my coworkers started buying smoothies and stuff from me too. Because I lost weight. I went to the doctor. The cholesterol was gone. And they were like, okay, fine. So they started. And they were like, actually, this is really good.
They're talking about consistency. Look at that.
And then they were like, it was really good. Because I would just do like 2 fruits and a veggie. So it was a green smoothie every day in the morning. And it holds you until you get off of work. Then you go home, you have your dinner. So it was really good.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Well, next question is, wait, sorry. I went up a little bit. So I recall you personally delivered your juices. Now, this was before Uber Eats and Grubhub and all that stuff. How was that experience, personally delivering to your clients? or to your customers?
That experience was very exciting. You know what I mean? Just like one, I couldn't believe that I was getting orders.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I'm onto something. Like, this is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So it was excitement. It was just like, I got it. Where you at? We coming.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. And then at one point, it was really only me. So I would be juicing at night. And
Mm-hmm.
so like 2 in the morning, then delivering these juices 7, 8 a.m., 9 a.m., then going to work for 10 a.m., getting off at 6, making more juices or going to Hunts Point by
Wow.
myself with these big boxes and then juicing again and then delivering it. And it was really exciting. I was tired, I was drained, but it was so exciting because I really couldn't believe like people are buying juices from me. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it was amazing. I didn't know where it would take me, at that time,
Mm-hmm.
but I was just like, I'm onto something. I'm gonna keep going.
And was it always your dream to open an actual location, or were you okay with just delivering them and making it from time to time?
No, I wasn't gonna I was always gonna open something because even like from college days,
Mm-hmm.
um, this is why I really believe in writing down the vision, writing down ideas, no matter what. Because a professor just told us like, what do we see each other like? What do you see yourself doing in 10 years?
Mm-hmm.
And I did write that I wanted to open a coffee shop that sold juices, coffee, books,
Well, that's a good
and
idea
did
too.
jazz. Like I really wrote that out.
Yeah.
And I totally forgot about that because this is like maybe now this is like 7 years later,
Mm-hmm.
and it came to pass. So
Wow. So you always probably was even putting it out there, and not even
yeah,
realizing it.
literally.
Wow. So I want to ask you, because you said you worked at VA hospital and you knew you would always eventually at some point quit. How did you feel when you finally made that, went on that leap and actually quit and started your business?
It was great. You know what? I was nervous, but I just knew it was something I had to do. I still had another job too, anyway,
Mhm.
because I had 2 jobs at that time. So I kept my part time, but I quit my full time. So yeah, I gave my 2 weeks in,
Mhm.
and it was good because it felt good because I did tell my supervisor like maybe like 6 months prior, like, I'm not gonna be here.
Mhm.
I'm gonna open my juice bar and stuff like that. And she was like, girl, please. Like,
Mm.
yeah, she said something really slick. I can't remember what she said, but it was very slick. And one thing about me, I don't know if it's a good or bad thing, but
Mhm.
I do like to prove people wrong. Like, if I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it.
That's a good thing. To me, that's a
So
great thing.
it's like, oh, that's what you said?
Mhm.
Bet. And I remember one of my different people were getting different jobs. They were leaving and stuff like that. And I never forget this one coworker. She was like, so she got a job interview and she got the job.
Mhm.
So she was just doing her last 2 weeks. And she said to me, she was like, it's funny. You're the first person who said, you're not gonna be here long, but we're all getting jobs and leaving, and you're still gonna be here.
Wow. And look
And
at you
I was
now.
like, okay. No problem. I stayed, did my job. She did come and support me though, and
At least she did that.
yeah,
At least
she
she did
did.
that.
And she was like, I'm really proud of you. You really said, whatever. So
And then you had to wait your turn. That's what it was.
that's it. You really have to wait your turn,
Yeah.
and it's a process.
So you said you also worked another job. So how did you navigate starting in a business and working another
It was
job?
part-time, my other job. So
Mhm.
it was like 4 hours a day.
Okay.
So I would just go like after the juice bar, and then, after that time, I had help. I had Monet, your sister,
Mhm.
Andre, so we was just like rotated and stuff like
Mhm.
that. But I didn't last long with my part-time job either. I ended up quitting like maybe a year or so
Okay.
after.
Now, one thing I want to bring up that you probably don't even remember saying to me, but I never figured we was talking about the juice bar, how you started it, what you felt, and all
hmm
those things. And you said to me, all you need is a faith of a mustard seed. That to this day, like I always think of that all the time when I'm deciding to take a new leap of faith and doing a new career, doing something else, doing this. Like I think of what you said. Like having a faith of a mustard seed is important. So with that being said, does your faith play a major role in you having this business?
Wow, I can't believe I said that to you. That was
You
years. That
did. That
had
was
to be
years ago.
how many years?
That
Probably
was when
like
the juice bar wasn't even a year yet, and you
wow.
said
So
that to
that's
me.
so it's 10 years now.
Mhm.
That is amazing because my friend just started a business and it's food by mustard seed. Yeah, and we speak
What?
about that a lot. And
Wow.
it's so crazy because, you know, this is 10 years. This year makes 10 years.
Mhm.
So I said that to you 10 years ago. And if I didn't believe that then, I truly believe that now, especially with how business has been after the pandemic.
Mhm.
It's only by faith. When I drive around and I see stores that been open for decades closing,
Mm.
I seen juice bars not even last a year close
Mhm.
down. It's just my faith. And when I tell you have faith as little as a mustard seed, it's because it's hard to have faith.
Mhm.
Some people have the gift of faith.
Yeah.
Some people have the gift of faith. But if you don't, just have a little bit. Force yourself to have a little bit, and then God will do the rest. That's literally, I'm like, God, this is all I got. And He always provides. He always makes, you're going to see another day. That's it. And that's all I hope for now, especially life is so short.
Mhm.
And I've experienced so much loss in the last couple years
Mhm.
that is only by faith. That's it. It's just by faith.
And people don't
So
understand how serious you have to be, like how serious that is
it's
to have
so
faith.
serious. So I just say, God, like, if I get through today, then you gonna get me. If I just like wake up, that's faith.
Yeah.
So once I put my clothes on and I have faith that I'm gonna get one customer
Mhm.
and two customers, if that's it, God will do the rest.
Of
He
course.
said, if you have faith as little as a mustard seed, then you can move mountains. So it's just by faith. It's just the belief.
And look how your faith has carried you 10
It
years.
has 10 years.
Faith as small as a mustard seed. Like
Mhm.
let's
Because
that's something you gotta pay
literally,
attention to.
it was just faith that even allowed me to see, because to envision such a thing, just
Mhm.
driving
Mhm.
and praying and
Mhm.
fasting. Like, God, you gonna, I didn't know what path I was gonna take. At that time in my life, I remember I just finished college. I was thinking about moving to Georgia. I did so many things. I applied to hundreds of jobs.
Mm.
You know what I mean? But I said, God, I know whatever you're gonna have for me, it has to be for me. It just that's it. So I just
Mhm.
have faith this won't work out. I know I'm not gonna be a bum. So what's
Mhm.
gonna happen? So it just took faith to just trust that everything's gonna work out.
Do you think your faith also influences how you approach challenges with having the juice bar?
Definitely. Like just like everything I said, literally, it's faith. Faith to know you're gonna have customers. Faith to know
Mhm.
that I'm gonna hire the right staff, and because I can't do it alone. You need a
Yeah.
team.
Mhm.
So, and we're constantly, going through changes. So it's just faith to know, like, at the end, the right people is gonna come to me. I'm gonna get the right opportunities.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I'm gonna make the right connections.
Okay. Did you have a support system when making this decision? And is it important to have one when starting a business?
Support system as far as what? Like,
Like any family, friends helping you when you was doing the business?
mhm.
And is it important to have that when you do decide to start a business?
So I I'm very fortunate that I did have like a really strong support team, because literally when the first person I called was Sharita.
Mhm.
Um and she's just gonna be like, yeah, that's dope. Do it. Yeah, I got you what you need.
She is good for that. I always call her.
Yeah, like, so that was the first person, and she asked me like how much was the rent, and it was some crazy number. And she was like, okay, yeah, like she never doubted it.
Mhm.
So that was good. Then I called like my cousin Andre, and he was like, all right, cool, I could help you delivery. Like, people started inserting themselves, like, okay,
I
I
inserted
could,
myself too.
right, everyone.
Yeah.
So that was dope.
Yeah.
But if I'm like 100% honest, that does play a role, but I know and I knew that I was called to do it.
Mhm.
So I already made up my mind, because that's what it's really about.
Yeah.
Like, the support is really great and is needed, but I already made up my mind I was going to do it. So
Yeah.
it didn't even matter. Like, it was so crazy. The way I had it in my mind and the way I had the passion for it, if no one supported me, I was going to do it. And the main person who really supported was my mom, because once I told her, and she was like, okay, well, nothing tried, nothing done. Do it and see. She was like, yeah, do it and see. Oh, I'm going to come. I'm going to buy. My friends are going to buy. So it just gave me that extra confidence. But in the journey, see, this is why you can't depend so much on support and support system. It's great to have, but you can't. This is why I say faith is everything.
Yeah.
Because in that journey, my mom has passed. You understand? My cousins have moved on to their lives, got married, got other jobs, other opportunities, and I'm still here in my business with, no matter what, many things have happened. COVID has happened. Right now we're in a low-key recession. People not talking about it.
That's true.
And it's still me. I still have to cut the checks. I still have to pay the rent. I got to keep the lights on. So imagine if I only depended on the support system.
You would have fell apart.
Yeah. So, and I also believe that God will send the right people at the right time. So support is not only, you can't put the pressure on your friends and family. And I think a lot of times people do that. Oh, I'm starting this clothing line, or I'm doing a podcast. You're my cousin. You have to show up. You have to listen. No, I don't.
Entitled. Yeah, too many people entitled.
But let me tell you, if it's meant for you, God will send the right people. In my journey in 10 years, I've had so much support from random people.
They always say that. The closest to you don't give as much support as the people that don't know you.
I feel like I've got it equally. So I've had my friends and family support OD. Like, I can't thank them enough. But I've also had strangers that's like, oh my gosh, how can I help you? How can I spread this message? What are you doing? Or blah blah blah. Or I know a plumber and I know da da da. You know what I mean? So once you have that faith, that doors will open. It will.
Yeah, that's dope. And it talks about your strength too, because like you said, things have happened in your life that your support system is no longer here. God rest her soul. Like the fact that you're still able to push forward, even when things like that happen, speaks on your strength. Yeah. And that's a great thing.
Thank you.
And I could even speak about because like I said earlier, I inserted myself when you started Juice Bar. I remember I was so excited for you. I was like, yo, can I volunteer? Yeah. I didn't want the money. I just want to be here. I just want to be a part of something. And then when she finally hired me on payroll, I was a horrible employee. Horrible. Late, not showing up to work. I got pregnant in between. I had to go. I was all over the place. But one thing that stuck with me too, with that too, is even when it was time for you to actually make the tough decision to fire me, because I know it took her a while. I was doing a lot of things. It took you a while to fire me. But when you finally did, you gave me the choice on resigning. You didn't just say, F you, you're done. You just was like, resign. And then later on in life, even though I know you probably would never took me back, which understood. But it's like, you still gave me the option to look on your resume, God forbid, at least it shows you resigned. It don't like you just got fired. Like, you look out for people. You look out for your family.
I do.
Because you could have just fired me and you would have had all right to do so.
I know.
But that's just to speak on your character. Like,
it reminds me of when you got fired, Satch, I made you quit type thing.
Yeah.
Brielle was like, I don't want to get fired. She was like, I don't want to get fired from the family.
No, but if she would have seen the stuff I was doing, she would have understood completely why I was fired. Yeah. Like, in the beginning, it was fun, but when it really got serious, I didn't take it as serious. But
why? Why didn't you take it serious?
I was immature. Okay. I was very immature, because looking back, that was my most fun job there was. You were not, you obviously you were a boss. You made sure we did our stuff, we did our work, but the atmosphere, the energy, it was so fun. I would never have a job like that again. And that's why to this day I'm mad. Damn, maybe I should, if I would have just been smarter, I could have stayed there for a little bit. I really
thought it did hurt me and bother me too, the way you were, because I just saw so much of your potential. You did the art on the wall. And I'm just like, you could be an artist, you could be this, you could do that. So it's so good to see you having your podcast and blossoming, even from you doing your events and stuff like that. It's just always been in you. Very talented.
I didn't
very
see it in
gifted.
myself, and that's what it was too.
Yeah, probably.
That's what it was too.
Yeah, it takes a while. But
that's why I think it's important for younger Black people to see a person like you on the couch.
Yeah.
Because it can happen.
It really does. But the same way I saw it in you, but you didn't see it in yourself. When I was younger, people used to tell me this all the time. You're a leader, but you're being a follower. And I'm like, I'm not, I don't want to lead anything. Why I have to be a leader? Stop following me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's maturity. Life happens,
Mhm.
and then you come into yourself. So,
But it
yeah.
even makes me think about now. It's like because of that, because of how I was like, I don't think I would hire family. God forbid I have something and I don't, and
No.
I can't.
It doesn't matter. People will be people. So it
Yeah.
don't matter if it's your. I know people. I remember the first week I opened, and like a regular stranger walks in,
Mhm.
and he said, like, "Who's this girl?" Blah blah blah. And I was like, "Oh, that's my cousin." And the guy, "That's my cousin." "Oh, you're doing business with family? That's no good." At the end of the day, humans are humans. You can
True.
hire strangers that will do it to
That's
you.
true.
Family. I'm gonna help my family
And you know what's
first.
funny? You know
I
what's
don't
funny?
know.
I'm saying all of that, but every time I have an event, Monet always shows up.
Yeah.
Anytime I need a flyer for something, I call Sharita to make a flyer.
Yeah.
So I'm just talking crap. And when I need security at some point, Dante gonna be my security.
Exactly.
So it's also like I feel like it's a double-edged sword. Because yeah, you know, people are people. They're gonna people.
It's trust me. It's gonna
But
happen.
family, you could trust to some certain extent that you can't trust outside people. But you also got to be careful too.
I think it's just about setting
yeah.
boundaries.
That's
you
true.
know,
That's
once
true.
you set the boundaries with your family, it really works out great. Some of the biggest companies that we shop and we buy their stuff, Johnson and Johnson, this
Mhm.
and that, it's family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just like don't subscribe to that at all. Like,
Mhm.
oh, you can't do business with family, blah blah blah.
Mhm.
No, you could do business with family. It's called black and white paper,
Exactly. And boundaries.
contracts,
Yeah.
you know, whatever.
And knowing who you hire for what you hire them for.
And that's it.
Like if you know Bobby be drinking his wine on the side, you're not gonna hire him to be your winery in your winery.
Exactly.
Like you're gonna put him for something else.
That's
Maybe to cut the
it.
grass. Like
That's what it is. But we as black people, we really need to stop.
we need to
We need to stop saying that.
Yeah.
Don't hire family, don't trust family,
Mhm.
or friends and family don't support me.
Mhm.
All of those things, I hope we leave that in 2024.
It's our trauma.
Yeah, it's a trauma that
Yeah.
we need to stop.
Mhm.
Because guess what? Support is there.
Mhm.
Family is there.
Mhm.
And you know, you play a part too.
Yeah.
The person who's hiring or picking these people or whatever, you play a part too. So, you know, I wasn't the best boss either at the time. I was immature too. You know what I mean? I needed to grow a lot as a leader. So, I mean, yeah,
it's
it was
learning for
fun
everybody.
and everything, but
Yeah.
I know for a fact there was ways that the way I trained, it was, you know, the way you talk to people just because you're my little cousin.
Yeah.
At the same time, it wasn't that professional. As you know, it was fun,
Yeah.
but there was times where, of course, yeah, who you talking to? Like not
Yeah.
because just because you paid me, that don't mean you get to speak to me in any way.
That's
So
a good
those are
point,
things that
yeah.
I had to learn too. So yeah.
And that's great to say too, because a lot of women bosses, people have this stigma on black women and specifically as bosses that when we're on our period or when we have an attitude when our man cheated on us, so we come to work with a nasty attitude. We have to learn how to talk to each other.
Yeah, we have to learn.
Like,
but I will say though, men and women naturally respect men.
Yeah.
So I feel like where women bosses have to kind of be this bitch. I don't know if I can curse.
Yeah,
Sorry.
you say that. Yeah.
But yeah. And I think it's because people don't take it serious.
Yeah, so we feel like we have to be more masculine.
Yeah. So we have to be like, yeah, no. And I've seen it where I've hired like a male manager and he's able to more so like have like a friendly vibe, but then get strict or get stern rather. And no one says he's this and that. But like for me, if I kiki with my staff, right? And then I'm like, okay, well, now, okay, somebody, can I get this day off? And I'll say no. It's like, but
I think it comes from the fact that women are naturally nurturing and men are naturally protectors. And so everybody, like you said, men are naturally respected. But I think it has to do with employees as well. Like I had to learn I had to mature and realize that that's my boss. Female, male, that's my boss. I come to do a job. That's my superior. I'm supposed to respect them. I think employees need to learn that too.
Yeah.
It's not just on the boss. Because sometimes employees make it so hard that the boss has to be a
bitch. No, literally.
The boss has to show you their ass because you don't respect them.
Yeah, and so if you're too nice, it's like, yeah. So it's a whole mess.
That's true. Well, that being said, I've noticed in the black community that when someone improves their situation and those remain in the same scenario, they tend to start to say little things like, oh, you think you're better than us? Oh, you think you're doing all of this? So with that being said, do you think it's you have to be humble when you have a business as a black person, or it's okay to sometimes be arrogant?
I guess it's to each his own. Like for me, I'm just not an arrogant person. That's just not my character. And I don't think anyone says that. Like the same friends I had before, I have now, and I don't know.
I think with me, I want to be confident.
Yeah, you
not
can.
arrogant.
Yeah.
I feel like people make it where you have to either be all the way over here or all the way over there. You either got to be super humble, you got to be super arrogant. I want to be evenly balanced, where I'm confident, not arrogant, want to make people feel like they're less than, but I'm also humble, where people feel like they could come up to me and say hello, get to know me and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I want to be.
I think I'm there. Like I'm right in the middle too.
I think it's a sweet spot to be in between.
Definitely. I think that's just who you are. People who are like that are like that, whether they broke or whatever. Like they just arrogant. It's like they just feel that way or whatever. You know. I think that's I don't think you have to be anyway. I've met people who have multi-million-dollar companies who would speak to me or take a call with me. It's just that here's the thing. When you get to a certain level, time is very, so people might take it as oh, they're arrogant or whatever, but you're really on these people's time.
That's
so
true.
You have to schedule it. You have to be on time.
Yep.
You have to, they have to see that you have something to bring to the table. Do you have a real problem that need to be solved? You know, they don't have time to just sit down and kiki with you. So that might, oh, you changed, but hey, you have to change to grow. So
that's like when I see little videos of people going up to celebrities with a camera in their face, like, "Hey, take a picture of me," and they're like, "No, oh, I can't believe this." Like,
yeah,
they're still a human being. Like, you can't do that to people, and they may be in a rush to go to something that they have to attend and be on time.
Or they're humans and they're just not in the mood.
That too. Like, you have to. No, they don't have to do anything for you. They're a regular person and they want to mind their business. But with that being said, how would you handle if a person did that to you? Like, if they came up to you and was like, "Oh, you think you better now? You think you better?" How do you handle that?
No one ever did that, and I haven't arrived. I'm still working hard. Like you can see me any day. I'm on Dyer Avenue. Like I'm not a celebrity or nothing. I've been fortunate to be in rooms and spaces, but I'm still really just getting my feet wet. So I don't think I'm there. But I mean, I've seen people, customers, or people who just saw me like on social media, maybe even when I was just like in Miami, or like I've actually seen people out of the country, that's like, "Oh my God, you own Freckles Juice. I'm proud of what you do." And before I used to hide from it because I used to be like, it was weird,
That's how I feel too.
So it was weird at first, but now I've learned to embrace it because it's like, oh shoot, I'm really doing what I said, and people are acknowledging it. People love it. People love the product. People love the culture that we've created in this space. So now I'm way different. I'm like smiling. I'm happy. Before, I remember I like literally hid from someone that like a customer that I saw in a restaurant. I was just like hiding, and then he came to the juice bar. And he was like, "Oh, so you don't speak to people in public?" And I felt so bad.
Yeah.
Because it's like...
On your side, he didn't understand your side. You just hiding because you're like, "Oh."
Yeah. And he just was like, "Oh, so you don't speak to people in public? Like, that's how you are?" Wow. And I'm like, that didn't sit right with me because it's like he spent his money here. Who am I?
Yeah.
I'm a human just like him. We wouldn't be open if it wasn't for people like him that come every day. You know what I mean? But I just was I was just nervous too. Like, oh, what is he gonna ask me? I don't want him to watch what I'm doing and things like that. But I'm out of that space.
And I think CEOs go further when they actually let you reach them and get to know them. Like, versus the ones that just at top, they go on their vacations, they don't care about what's going on.
Yeah.
Because people got the most to say about those. But to actually get to know people and then talk to people and be in there.
And it's important because my whole mission is to be in the community. So
and you
weird.
Are in the community. You be at the juice bar.
Yeah. So it's weird.
You
yeah, exactly. So it's weird to say you want to make this this initiative in your community where you want to give back and you want to do this and you want to do that, but then you don't want to talk to people. You want to have an attitude with people. So I had to fix that within me, which is something I still work on it because my attitude.
And you're human. You have feelings. You may not be in the mood sometimes,
but still, I've learned to definitely be more friendly and to just let my guards down a little bit.
Okay, so we started talking about community. So do Black-owned businesses receive more community support, or do you feel like they're critiqued harshly because it's a Black-owned business?
I think they are critiqued very much more harshly. A lot of customers will always come in and they're like, "Oh, you should do this," or "Why don't you have that?" or "You don't have an app? Well, do I have to wait online?" It's like that. But I've gone to, stores in Manhattan where the line is long. You ever been to like Cold Stones in the city? Like,
Yeah,
you're waiting for like an hour. You know what I mean?
and
But
no one's saying anything.
and they're not saying nothing. If you go to Starbucks, if it's busy, it's busy.
That's
And you're
true.
gonna wait for your coffee, right? I've seen people, it's been like busy, probably like a 10-minute wait, and people walk out. They won't wait. And then they'll leave us a Google review, like the wait
Wow.
line. And it's just like, wow. Or people be like, "Oh, why don't you hire more people?"
You gotta pay people.
Yeah, and it's like they don't understand that. So you have those a group of people, but you do have great people who will wait, will defend you, so it's like mixed, but I do think we are critiqued hard, very much so.
I think for me, I'm a bit more biased as far as Black business, meaning like I'm more supportive of Black business where I'll wait.
Yeah, it's just different though, because it just depends. Other business owners or how can I say this? Business owners and creatives are gonna understand because
That's true.
they go
That's
through
true.
it and stuff like that. But like for the average person that's just going to work and they just want their smoothie fast, they don't care.
I think we need to give we're good. I think we need to give ourselves grace, and Black people need to give each other grace.
Yeah.
Like we're breaking barriers and breaking change literally by actually starting businesses and soaring in our businesses. So the little wait shouldn't matter. We should just look out for each other.
And I still think there's always room for improvement. So I don't say like, "Oh, I'm a Black business, give us slack," or "You shouldn't get the best customer service, the best product." No, we should still get the best, but we should also, just like the big companies make mistakes.
Yeah.
So little companies,
we got to
make
be a give and
mistakes.
take. Got to be a give and take.
Mhm.
And I do believe that Black-owned businesses do get, harshly critiqued because even when it comes on to like you go into an establishment, you'll see people like, "I can't believe the lighting in here is just too dim," and it's like, relax. I can't believe my own people. Like, hello, how about we uplift each other and like, if you know an electrician, have him come fix the light or something.
Hello, that's it.
Don't say those things. Like, let's look out for each other.
Yeah, I feel that way, and especially like for me and like the environment that I'm in, in the space that I've created. So mostly it's like fast food in the area, Chinese restaurant, pizza shop. People are not gonna really leave them a bad review if they have a bad experience. But because I've created like this space where it looks kind of trendy, it's given like art, you know.
Yeah.
I think they hold us to a standard, and I actually like that though.
Yeah,
I do, and I tell my staff this: we're not the Chinese restaurant, we're not the pizza shop, we're Freckles Juice. So we need to show up. Our uniforms need to be clean. We need to be smiling. We need to be giving the best customer service because at the end of the day, we do stand out. So you can't just stand out in the store. You have to stand out in the service, in the product, in the taste, everything. So
the only thing I dislike about that too is like as far as like people leaving reviews is why I've noticed why do people tend to leave a review and talk about it being a Black business? Why you have to do that? If you're gonna say that you had a Black experience, fine, but why do you have to emphasize on this Black business on Tuesday at 5 p.m.? I had to wait. Like, thank God you haven't, but I feel like that can be harmful. I feel like that could be harmful. That could be harmful to that business.
I mean, it doesn't matter if they say if it's Black owned or not. Once it's a bad review, it's harmful.
That's true.
So
do you think?
But I do think that sometimes people are quick to leave a bad review. Okay, for instance, like I probably have like 2 bad reviews, and I'm very disappointed in them because the person who left the bad review have been coming for years and had 1 bad experience. You've never left a good review, right? Never left a good review all the years you've been coming.
The 1 bad experience.
You got 1 bad experience from a new person, and you leave a bad review. How come you never left us a good review?
True.
And you were coming for years.
And you're in
you're
working
that's
there.
The thing.
And you're there in the community. Why haven't they just come to you and say, hey, Felicia, on this day, can you just...
Yeah, and I've gotten those DMs where it's like, hey, I come here all the time, but today this wasn't right, or blah, blah, blah. And those I truly appreciate. I always like go out of my way to make sure if there's something I could fix, that we fix it.
Exactly.
So so there is a set of people that do that. A lot of people do that, thank God. But there are people, if you go to a place every day or once a week or however, and you have a good experience, you should leave them a good review.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't wait till something bad happened and leave a bad review.
Exactly.
No matter where you go. I think
and they don't understand how harmful that
that's
could be.
something I learned. So now once I go to a restaurant or something and it was good, I'm leaving a good review.
I do the same because I read reviews.
Yeah.
Before I go to a restaurant, I'm on them reading reviews. Like, so I definitely leave them as well because I think about that too. So do you think marketing as a Black-owned business does more harm than good?
I think it does good in this this new generation where, because I don't know, growing up, all we did was shop Black-owned. We go to Jamaican restaurants, stuff like that.
True.
It was never a thing.
Yeah.
But I guess now with social media and like now that we actually travel and go further, I guess it helps because to me, some people really go out their way to support a Black-owned business.
I'm one of those people.
So I think it's good. Be who you are. Like,
I think for me, I'm not gonna lie. For me, what kind of annoys me with Black-owned business, some of them, is that when they get up to a certain point, they sell to like a person that's not African American. They sell to like someone that's not a minority. That's the only thing that kind of annoys me because I'm like, yo, let's keep it in the community. Like, let's actually stick together. Like, I think Miele, her product she sold, and people were very disappointed. And I was one of those people that was disappointed because like, come on, like we came for you, girl. Like, and you selling, people could then change the ingredients and it not be as authentic as when you had it for your business.
For me, when you're not, a lot of people who are upset, they're not in business, so they don't understand. I'm very proud of her, very happy that she sold and she got the opportunity. A lot of people will never get that type of opportunity. People don't know what it takes to run a business and the money it takes to run a business. No matter how much people you think is buying it takes a lot of money to run a business. So the fact that she was able to get that type of backing, it's big. It doesn't matter if it's Black or white. And she changing the product was gonna happen no matter what. Once, because she's trying to scale.
Yeah.
So that's the thing.
So for people that don't understand business, how can you explain like why you think that was a great idea for her to do? Like a person to sell?
Yeah, because the point of making a business is to scale it. That's to make it profitable.
Okay.
Now I'm sure if a Black-owned billionaire came to her, she could have sold it to them too.
True.
So it's who you understand. Like, we don't know people, and that's the thing with social media that I hate is that because of social media, we start to feel like we know these people.
It's true.
And we know these people's business, and we were at that law. We're not her lawyer.
True.
We don't know these things. Clearly, she felt it was a great opportunity for her. With them buying her company, right? She's able now to probably take a burden off of her self. You know what I mean? And to make it expand it, more production, more whatever it is to get it out all over the world or out all over the country. She's a Black woman. She cannot do everything on her own. So someone saw the potential of her business and decided to, and I don't think she sold it. I think she didn't completely sell it, but it's a partnership, or whatever the case may be.
Well, thanks for saying that. Thanks for educating me because now I'm a person that I didn't understand the business side, but now that you explained it, it makes total sense.
Yeah, she can't. How far can one person take it? You know what I
That's
mean?
true. And who's to say that was like the point you made that I think I thought about was maybe she, like you said, she wanted to skill. Maybe that wasn't her end all be all, was
It's
to just
not.
only be
Yeah,
that.
that's not what
So
that's it.
yeah. So maybe that was always her plan.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I actually, for instance, I was telling one of my friends too, like, I want to go back and get my master's, my MSW,
Mhm.
because I did start, and then with the juice bar and everything, I dropped out of school, to get my master's, and I told him like, yeah, I think I'm gonna go back this year, and she's like, oh no, you don't, you're lying, like, um, and I'm like, why? Why not? Why you think I don't want to be a therapist? Because I own a juice bar?
You could do it.
Of course
And
I
we need
can.
more Black therapists.
So that's the thing. Because people see you as this one thing, they don't understand. A lot of people don't understand a lot of things.
That's true.
So they just comment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With changing we don't know. She said that much of the ingredients wasn't changed too.
And I'm sure she probably sat in the meeting and was like, all right, don't do that. Don't do much of that, before she actually took a step away.
And that's what I'm saying. I don't think she even took a step away. I think she just got their funds.
Oh, well, that's smart.
So I don't know. I mean, I'm not really sure. I really don't even know I don't even like feed into those things though. Because like I said, the reason I don't feed into these things, because we're not there, and I feel like we're never gonna know the truth.
And like you said, social media kind of...
Yeah.
Because even me saying I'm disappointed, I don't really know a thing about business.
Yeah, we don't know.
I'm just going with the fact that she a Black sister. And I'm just being ignorant because I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it usually is for everyone.
Yeah, that's what
we
it is.
just don't know.
I've asked my stylist, my like different hairstylists and stuff like that about her product. Like, do you think, because like there's a big thing going on that,
but I noticed it only happened, like people saying that their hair is getting drawn out because let me say it in the American way, their hair is falling out is because of her product. But I noticed they only started saying it when she sold or partnered with the other company,
right? And then it also came to that like competitors were paying these,
and I use Miele and my hair has never fallen out.
Okay, see, that's what I'm saying. So it's just I don't know.
It just takes one bad egg. So that's pretty much what it is.
But there's a lot of people saying that. I've personally never really used her product like that, so I wouldn't even know. But I'm happy for her though. I think she did. It sucks. But you know what cracks me up though about the whole situation? It makes me want to buy her product just because now. Because it's like, we buy so many things that's not Black owned.
And that aren't good for us.
And
that too.
Most things are not Black owned. Because no matter what, it's a third party thing.
Of course.
You understand? Like,
it's always like that.
We're not sewing the t-shirts that, just because I put Black owned on it.
Somebody
or whatever,
made it. Yeah.
I have a landlord.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So how much Black owned are we? You know what I mean? I'm a strong believer. I support Black owned, but I really buy what I like.
Yeah.
I buy from people who want me to buy from them. You understand me? Because there's people in this world that like they act like your money's not good enough.
True.
You know what I mean? So I go where I'm appreciated, where I'm celebrated, and that's it. But yeah, technically, I do like to look up Black owned stuff too.
That's me.
Yeah,
that's me.
I do.
I still use Miele stuff because she ain't never give me no problems. I'm the type of person I like to see for myself.
Yeah,
it's good and bad because sometimes bad things happen, but I like to see for myself because sometimes it could be a rumor, and we run with rumors, and that's not always good.
And there's I've used products that didn't do good with my hair though.
Yeah,
like have you not?
Yeah.
So what's the problem?
I'm telling you, it's only because of that.
Seriously, like that's how I look at it. I'm like, so y'all never used. I bleached my hair before and it fell out.
Perm is the worst thing we could have ever done to our hair.
Exactly. So,
yep. So let's talk about expansion because I know you have your different locations. So what inspired you to choose those location areas?
Dye Avenue Monet is the one who saw that area. I never really knew about Dye Avenue. I'm like from the other side, and I'm like, Dyer. And I was like, oh, I used to go to Dyer when I was younger. And I'm like, okay, cool. So when we like kind of like looked around, and I'm like, oh wow, there's really nothing healthy over here. Like I told you, we're really next door to a Chinese restaurant and a pizza shop, and then there's like Jamaican restaurants and Kennedy's and this and that. So I was like, you know what? and the train station is there. I'm like, okay, we could get the commuters and stuff like that. And it's not far from my middle school. So I just felt like it was home, you know? So that worked out well. And then with White Plains, to tell the truth, they called and
Wow.
really was like, oh, we saw your business online.
That's dope.
I remember I thought it was like a fake, like a scam. And I'm like, what? Please. And then I really Googled it, like,
But that's
oh,
a big
really?
deal.
Yeah, it was cool. And they called us and they were like, you know, we're looking for like a juice bar to come in. I feel like that would be a great it'll be a great opportunity for us and for you. So and I've been there for like 7 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that means you got it not too far after when you got Dyer.
Yeah, we had like 3 years. Yeah.
Oh wow! So them to call you after 3 years, that is crazy.
Yeah.
So, what are your future aspirations for your juice bar? Any plans on further expansion?
Yeah, I do want to expand eventually. But right now we're just, riding out the wave, perfecting some things. Eventually franchising will be like in the works. Is in the works right now. So yeah.
Okay. And what advice would you give to a young Black entrepreneur on starting a business?
I guess I'm gonna give them the same advice that I gave you 10 years ago. Have faith as small as a mustard seed. That is like really, really true. Just have faith. And also think of whatever you're doing, don't think of yourself so much. Cause like one of the passions and the real reasons why I wanted to open a juice bar, when I look back at my journals, what I used to write, I really want to change my family's lives. Like I used to write that a lot. I'm like, oh my God, I have so much nieces and nephews. I want them to be able to like look up to me, or I'm able to, help them out, maybe pay for their colleges. This is before I had my own child. I just thought about the impact that I wanted to make on my family. And then I thought about my community. You know what I mean? Because your first community is your family.
That's true. That's true.
And I'm like, if I can't help my family, I can't help nobody else. So I used to write that a lot. Like that was really like a desire for me. It's like, I want to be able to help my family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm like, if you're starting a business or you have an idea, think about the impact. Like, who will this serve? Because once you're serving, you will always serve. So many people need help. People
That's
need
true.
people.
That's true.
So whatever you're doing, if it's to help someone, you'll always have a job.
That's true.
So that's how I look at it.
That's great advice.
Yeah.
And my last question before you close out is, how do you feel we can come together as a Black community to support businesses and customer relationships?
I think what we could do is something we kind of spoke about. Give your feedback, but give it in a loving way. Maybe send the business a DM. You know what I mean? Before going to Google. Hey, sometimes you might have to go to Google because maybe they don't answer the DM, or if you ask to speak to a manager or someone and things are not getting changed, and if you feel like you need to go to Google, then do so. But don't be afraid to take that extra mile by waiting till you see the owner or the manager or DMing them. Don't be so quick to judge, because honestly, as a small business owner, a lot of things are happening at once. So give them grace. And for business owners, we also need to don't forget that you're a customer too.
That's true.
So that's what I look at too. Like, I'm like, if I was a customer, would I be happy with this drink? Would I be happy? And this is how I train. Think about this drink as if you were making it for yourself.
That's smart.
So and never forget, like, we're all humans. Like, really. Once I started to really keep that in my brain and my mind, I'm so much nicer to customers. I'm so much nicer when I go out, because I'm like, listen, if it was me, put yourself in this space. Yeah. Put the shoe on your feet.
Giving grace. Give each other grace. That's great. So as we wrap up this conversation, I want to take a moment, and you're probably going to get emotional for this part, but I'm going to say something again. I want to express my gratitude for everything you're doing to promote health and wellness in the Black community. Your dedication and passion truly inspires those around you, and I'm proud of the impactful work you're doing. I've seen how you maintain continuous faith no matter what challenges are thrown your way, and the unwavering belief is incredibly inspiring. To honor your journey and the positive change you're bringing, I would like to present to you a crown.
Oh, thank you.
Sorry.
This is so cute.
Yeah, I have some more to say because I wrote some more things down after I give you the crown. Now, this crown is to honor your journey and the positive change you're bringing. I like to present it to you as a keepsake.
Mm-hmm.
And it symbolizes your strength, leadership, and the way you uplift others. Think of it as a way of giving yourself your flowers while you're here. Thank you for being such an inspiration.
Oh, thank you.
Now, I have another segment for my podcast. I usually like to leave off with some motivational things to say and like some, what do you call it? Some affirmations.
Mm-hmm.
So I have made 3 to go with the conversation we had.
Mm-hmm.
One is, I am resilient and capable of overcoming challenges.
Mm-hmm.
The second one is, every small step I take brings me closer to success. And finally, my unique ideas add value to my community.
I love those. I'm going to keep that for myself.
Thank you all for joining us today. Like, comment, subscribe, and, we'll be back again.
Ooh, that was good. I like those affirmations.
Thank you.